Welcome to the Tony Gebhard Show. I'll be your host today, Tony Gebhard.
I sang with the Peace Choir, and they all have sheet music in front of them, and they're all learning their music. But I got my music on a CD in, like, let's say September, and I would work that music until our concerts in May every day, and learn my part, but not only my part, but the part that is going to cue me to where to come in.
Hey guys, it's Tony back again with the Tony Gebhard Show, and I'm super excited because today I've got a personal friend of mine. He's a mentor, really great musician, and a disability advocate who's just incredible. I mean, Bill Hahey, welcome to the show.
Hey, thanks for having me.
Yeah, man. Long time coming. We've been talking about doing an episode with you, and I'm really glad we could get this done. How's the East Coast?
There, it's pretty cool. It's kind of, well, it's not cool. It's pretty hot, but it's really good. We're seeing lots of music out live, and thinking about doing some shows, a little bit of traveling, and, really just having a blast. I'm going to go play a jam tomorrow, and I'm be with some friends of mine on Monday, and, just enjoying the idea of a little bit different atmosphere and lots of good music. Yeah.
It seems like you get a lot more out of being on the East Coast than you do here on the West Coast. Would you say that's a valid statement, or is it just different, as you said?
Well, it's different, and I've spent most of my life there. I mean, I moved there when I was 26, and now I'm 68, and so I've been there for 40 years or better, and I made a lot of friends and had a lot of really good musical influences, and was parts of bands that were really fun to do. But, I love the idea that there's more going on, more music, more everything, faster, and it's just different, and there's a lot going on, so there's never a dull moment over here.
Yeah, no kidding. I mean, Philadelphia, the city of brotherly love, Philly cheesesteaks.
Oh yeah, and protests galore.
Yeah, protests galore. Yeah, West Coast, no different.
No, everybody
See-
wants the same thing.
Yeah, everybody wants the same thing. Yeah. So, what all do you play? I mean, guitar. I know you. You've tapped in with. I mean, you're a brass guy. You love the trombone. You love guitar. Like, what all do you play?
I sing and play keys, and have been known to play bass and drums, and but I don't play any reeds. Well, actually, I play flute a little bit, very little, but it was for my own enjoyment. And whatever strings I can get my hands on, I like to play or try to
Oh,
play.
there you go.
But
Spe-
mostly, yeah, keys and 6-string, 4-string bass. I don't. But I started playing French horn when I was like, I don't know, 9, 8, 9, something like that. But I didn't know that, I didn't understand transposition. I didn't understand why F wasn't F. It's a different
Sure.
key, and it's a different, animal, and blah, blah, blah. So when I got the trombone, it was like, oh, concert pitch, I can dig that, and
Oh,
the
there you go.
slide was it. Around. I was like, yeah, I love it. This is what I want to do. So I did it
Yeah,
for
no
a
kidding.
lot of years. Yeah.
So, the biggest question, right? That's always the big debate: Taylor or Martin?
Martin, for me, but I had a Taylor. I had a 615 that I really liked, but I didn't like the neck as well. And when I got the Martin and decided to uh, keep it, take it, buy
Uh,
it, it took me a while to get used to it and strengthen my hands to be able to play it. But now I would never go back. I mean, I love Taylor. Taylor's a nice guitar, but it didn't suit my hands. Martin suits my hands.
I agree. I'm with you. The Taylor has a beautiful, beautiful sound, but I like I like to have a light gauge, a lighter action. I don't want to have to, engage carpal tunnel just to be able to play strings.
Yeah, I'm like thinking about my electric guitars for that reason,
Yeah.
but
Uh-huh.
I still like my Les Paul. And
Yeah. No, you got a beautiful Les Paul. That's a nice
yeah,
guitar.
it's a sweet
Gorgeous.
guitar. Yeah.
And so I mean, you've had a long music career.
Oh,
You
yeah.
said you turn 21, right?
What's that?
I said you said you're turning 21. Is that right?
Yeah, again. Yeah.
No. But you've been doing music for God, well over 40 years.
50 some years. Yeah.
Wow.
Since I
Wow.
was 19, I started my first real delve into music and studio and bands and all that when I was 19. Just
What
out
was
of
the
school.
scene? What was that scene
That
like
was
back
disco,
then?
man. That was big disco.
Yeah.
Three-piece horns and two guitar players and congas and drums and bass. And I'm still in touch with the bass player, Matt Brown in Macon, Georgia. He's a funny guy. He's got too many stories to tell me that I'm like embarrassed to repeat and stuff like that. I was really young and they were really took me under their wing and showed me how to do all the things I like to do these days. And it was a really great learning experience. That's called IBIS. That was
Ibis. How long
IBIS
were you
was
guys together? How long did you guys
a
play
couple
together?
years. Let's see, 70, I think seven till about maybe 79 or so, something like that. And we played all over. We played Club Harlem in Atlantic City and, um, you know, uh, Benny the Bums on Market Street and Hollywood Palace and a few other ones. It was really funny. It was a really cool band. I
Wow.
was playing a song by Stevie Wonder one night, and it was like my my what do you call it? Uh, they opened a door for me and put me on stage, debut, and I'm supposed to be singing "Knocks Me Off My Feet," and they're playing the vamp, and
Oh.
Matt's playing. You better sing the song, boy. And I'm like, I couldn't remember the words, and
Oh no.
so finally, I get the words and I start singing the song. And so we sang it and we did it, and it was really fun. We used to do Sir Duke and we did a few other ones, and Stevie was just awesome. We loved his music and had a great time playing his music.
Man, Stevie
For
Wonder, I mean, he wasn't
yeah.
he's not just like a disability like blind icon. I mean, he was a music
Oh,
icon. Like
absolutely. Yeah,
God, he revolutionized music.
he did. And Ray Charles and those guys.
Jeff Healy.
Really, Jeff Healy, Jose
Yeah.
Feliciano, you can, there's a bunch of blind artists who really, had to stand up and really do, do you one better,
Right.
because they're blind guys, and they, oh man, well, we got this guy, we got this blind guy, we got this, whatever. But you always have to work hard. You always have to come up to the and surpass maybe if you're, you know, lucky. Um,
Yeah.
and but it's a work ethic. It's think, like I sang with the Peace Choir and they all have sheet music in front of them and they're all learning their music. But I got my music on a CD in like, let's say September. And I
Yeah.
would work that music until our concerts in May every day and learn my part, but not only my part, but the part that is going to cue me to where to come in.
Right.
So if it's a tenor or a soprano or whatever it is,
What did you
I
sing in choir?
I
What was
sang
your
bass,
Oh,
sang
there you
bass.
go.
Yeah,
I was a tenor.
yeah, all right, yeah,
Yeah. I
that's
was a tenor. I started off as a bass in the
uh,
beginning, but they
yeah.
it just developed my voice and I didn't like singing down below.
Oh, I did because
Yeah. Oh yeah, no, that fits
I
you
was,
well.
yeah, I wanted it, and I, they really, the Rogue Valley Peace Choir really treated me good and were happy to have me. And they uh, treated me kind of like a celebrity almost, you know.
Oh yeah.
A lot of them are not professional, but they really love singing and they really have a
And
great
that's what
time.
it's about.
Yeah, and
It's
if you
about the
get to go
unity.
hear it, you
Yeah.
should do it because it's a great
Are they
class.
still doing stuff?
Yeah, they are. I was only with them for 6 years, but I got to do solos and I got to sing. And they took one of my songs and we're going to do it, and then COVID hit, and then we didn't do it. So,
Ah,
but
shit. That's the story, everybody.
yeah, but
Everybody's
you know,
got COVID hit.
yeah, you know,
Yeah.
um, one of my stories about COVID was, and when I got in to, we're getting off track, but when I got into when it started happening, I had this guy that I worked with, Dan Hinkle, and he helped me with the studio. And he said, "Man, I got some songs." And I said, "Well, we ought to record your songs." So we got in the studio and we started playing this song, Heroes. And it was just awesome. I was like loving it. And so we played for a number of years and as a duo, the four-piece band. And
For Pete. I like that.
yeah,
That's
and we
good.
played
Good
Fish
play on words.
Lake. Yeah, we
I
played
love
Fish
that.
Lake and we played Battle Rock out in what was it, Port Orford or something, somewhere up there along the coast. And it was a
Did you
great.
guys ever do the Klamath Music Festival?
No, that was just getting started, to my recollection, and we didn't do it.
Apparently that's been blowing up.
Oh yeah, my friend, acquaintance of mine, used to work with Sylvia, or probably still does. He is the leader of that Klamath Folk Festival.
Yeah, I got my buddy runs sound for it every year.
Oh, is he? All right.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
So
that's
it's
a great
become
festival. Yeah.
so okay. So IBIS, we're doing IBIS for a few years. You really get your
Right.
feet wet, and then you said at 26 you decide to say, adios,
Oh
Philadelphia,
yeah. Well, I
and
had
you
a
come
couple
home.
other things. I had the duo Don and Bill. We played jazz all over the tri-state area, New Jersey,
Ah, the
Pennsylvania,
popular
Delaware.
Bills. Yeah, I've heard that.
And then the Bills was another band that we had three blind guys playing horns and a few
Three
sighted
blind guys
guys.
named Bill.
Right, Bills Plus, right.
Oh, that's
Uh,
awesome,
and
man.
Bill McCann is the founder and owner of Dancing Dots, which is
Yeah,
a
Dancing Dots. Yeah, big shot.
music. Big shout out to Bill. He's going to be in New Orleans at the NFB
And-
convention
oh, there you go.
coming up. Yeah, showing his wares.
Yeah,
And
so be sure to check out the Dancing Dots
booth.
booth.
Right.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Definitely
Yeah.
go check that out.
Yeah. I'm going to see him in a couple days.
Oh,
Uh,
fabulous.
yeah, we're
So
gonna.
so when you came to the West Coast, different change of pace, different environment, um, you know, getting to know you, you talked a lot about your time in Ashland. Is that where you got your start in the West
Pretty
Coast?
much. Yeah. I played open mics in Medford. I played in Ashland when Jasmine's was happening, and a few other clubs. The pub down under the bridge, and Orion's Irish Pub, and a few other ones. Pony
Oh, there you go.
Express. And I
They just
had.
shut down Johnny B's.
Oh yeah, wow! I never played
Yeah.
there. That's the one place I didn't go. Milestone was one of my bands that we put together on an early in the early days, early 80s. Uncle Chester was the next issuance. That was a great band. We had three horns, and Milestone was great too, but it was rock and roll club dates and
Oh, there you
the
go.
Rolling Stones and some original music, and me and Al and Michael Barth and Boris and a number of guitar players, Steve and Tom, and you know,
Yeah, I
um,
met Steve. I
two
remember
Toms.
Steve.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
Steve's a good player and songwriter. Yeah, and then Matt was in Uncle Chester, and Carl. And those guys were really a lot of fun. We went on tour um, with Ja Levi and like 8 other bands, and we played our set And then all these other bands would get on and they'd play their
8
set.
other bands.
Yeah. Oh, we did
That's probably quite a.
pretty ambitious. Yeah.
I
For
was gonna say
John
that's a
Levi.
big
Yeah, it
round.
was.
Where did you guys play? What was your
From
like?
Seattle to Santa Cruz.
Oh,
And it was,
that's a good swing.
yeah. And it was a
There you go.
summer.
Hit up
Uh,
Tacoma,
yeah.
Portland,
Yeah. Portland,
Eugene.
Eugene,
Yep.
Ashland, Redding, Sacramento,
Sac.
Santa Cruz.
You guys do you guys do Sacramento?
Yeah, I think so. It was a long time ago, but
Oh
yeah, we did
man.
a bunch of stuff. And yeah, and that's where I met John Levi. Well, I met him a few years before that, but that's where we started to uh, be in touch. And then I went on tour with John Levi. And then when I came back off tour, was working with Continental Drift, and that was a group of guys that were really great. Jimmy and Michael and Christy and me and Steve and lots of people, Dave Swan, Bill Eckhart, lots of different adaptations of that group.
Man.
So I got to write, and we went in the studio, as well as Uncle Chester. We all went in the studios, and every band I was in, I got to put at least one track on some record somewhere. And so that's how I built my repertoire up of my own original songs.
Yeah. Man,
And
that's
then,
crazy.
yeah, and so it was pretty awesome times. And we had good followings with all the different bands. We opened for some good artists, some well-known artists, and some not so well-known. I played the Pendleton Roundup. I played, there was a whole bunch of different iterations of all kinds of bands. And so Milestone was the hardest working band, though. We played every weekend and we played everywhere.
Isn't it
So,
just nice to find that group of people,
yeah.
who and it's the same way I feel about Psychophoria,
Oh,
my band.
oh,
It's just like that group of people that love the music just as much as you do, if not more.
oh,
And
yeah.
everybody gives and gives and gives, and they don't even take, they just give.
Oh, yeah.
Um,
Yeah. It's amazing.
just it's an equilibrium. Yeah.
Yeah. The music does give you that sense of being together, camaraderie, you
Oh
know,
God, yes.
and then, you get into the other issues too of transportation and
Oh
being on
God.
the road together and
Oh
having our
yeah.
little tussles and,
Oh yeah. You're gonna have to find a Motel 6 to get yourself a shower.
that's right. That's right. Oh,
You
I've
do have
slept
to.
under the truck, I've slept lots of crazy different ways
Yeah.
than,
Yep.
on the road
You
together.
sacrifice your luxuries, man. Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
yeah,
right.
you do.
And
Yeah,
every
yeah.
dollar you make, most of the time it goes right back into the band. So
Oh, yeah. If you're
yeah,
lucky, they got something going on so that they keep it alive, but yeah,
yeah.
it's fun. Yeah, we're
So
pretty lucky.
so it's been a while, and you've established yourself. You've been on a lot of records. What would you say? So Milestone, you would say, was the hardworking band. What was the, I guess, defining moment for you that made you feel alive as a musician?
Wow. I loved the crowds and the way they took to what we did. I loved the idea that I get to record and I get to write music. And when you hear your song, you're walking down the street and somebody rides by and is playing your music in the car. That's amazing feeling. There's so many different reasons why
You guys had that? No kidding.
yeah, yeah, I mean,
Man, how about
we,
that?
I mean, with the advance of CDs and, I mean, lots of stuff was on cassettes and stuff. So you never know who you're going to run into. And if somebody walks up to you and starts singing your song to you, and they might not even have the words right, but you know what they're trying to do. And it's like, wow, you know that song? Wow, that's amazing. And
Yeah.
so there's so many really great reasons for why you do what you do and what makes it pleasing to you and how people like to give it back to you,
There you go. Yeah.
you know. And I
Wow.
don't know what the defining moment, if there is one, but I believe it's the live performance when people are just having fun. You know,
Yeah. Oh,
I
no,
always
no
I like
doubt.
to say I like to say that if I'm playing somewhere and people stop thinking about what they're were thinking about when they walk in the door and get down and have fun, then I did my job.
It's funny. I was I was talking to Michael yesterday. He plays drums for us. Um, and we were having this exact conversation about like why we do music in the first place. And I think like for me, it's always been I came up in a punk rock scene. Um, my first band was punk rock, and we evolved into something heavier later in high school. But what makes music great is when you're in the heat of the moment and you speed the song up by about 10 decibels unintentionally. Everyone's having a good time. You can smell the food, the beer in the air, and everyone's either moshing to the music. It's a different scene, but it has the same kind of synergy that you're getting at, where no one cares that you accidentally missed a note or there, if anything, that makes it even better. Um, because it's not quantized. It's not auto-tuned. It's or anything like that. It's the heat of the moment because your passion then starts to really seep out, which in a way creates that jubilation for an audience or creates that unity that you were talking about, bringing people together.
Yeah, live performance has always been animal of its own,
Oh
and
God, yeah.
then the studio is something where you create your music and you put it out, and that's what that is, But the live performance, anything can happen and usually does.
Yeah, always does. I was speaking of the studio. I was just watching Metallica and their making of DVD for their Death Magnetic record that they put out in '08. And I mean, when you watch them, these are guys that are, world renowned, obviously world renowned band, the biggest rock band in the world, has played on every continent. And yet when you see them together, you think, oh, I've said those kind of things in rehearsal. I do that, and they're putting songs together. They're just regular guys, heat of the moment, passionate, care, and it's no matter if it's a popular, how popular you are or recognition, none of that matters. It's like, are you going to enjoy it? And I think that's the kind of influence, and you're in the reggae, your reggae is your big thing, isn't it?
I love reggae, yeah, and I've written a
Yeah.
couple songs like that, but my I like to get around and do other things. I'm working on some new things and I like love songs. I mean, I like to put down something that is gonna stand up to uh, you know, for uh people, the regular Joe,
Yeah.
Hey, you love that, you hate this, you want this, you don't want that, you want, I want, and in these times you really want to sing something that brings people together and doesn't detract from, uh, what the necessary thing to keep body and soul and people moving in a good direction, It's
Yeah.
really hard. It's really hard. But it's
It,
easy when you have your, you a standard.
yeah. Yeah. And that's very true. And I really like that. If anything, that inspires me, because it's always interesting to get that context and perspective from other songwriters because I've always written music from a place of trauma And when I think about it, I genre and a lot of it's all genre based and kind of what you're feeling in the moment. But I feel like the older I get, the less angry my music is.
Uh,
With with it being in metal though, because it's like when I sit down to write my next record, I like I'm not 18 years old anymore. So it's like things change, and I'm finding myself writing more poetically and more, I guess, in terms of, like you said, love. What does that mean? How do you convey that feeling and that message in everyday situations, you know?
but I think it's experience. You're not 18, you're not 26, you're not 35, you're not 45. And when you gain an understanding of like what's going to drive people to be together or what's going to drive them apart. I think what really is the key is why do we do it? I think we do it to bring people together. I think we do it to make people understand or let them see
Sure.
that that we want something, we all want the same thing. And
Yeah.
what we really want is to enjoy what there is and what we have left and how um, and make good, because there's so much other thing out there that, you talk about guns and violence and all these things that are so prevalent in our society today. Where I
Yeah.
was having a conversation about 50s and 60s and how things changed, and boom, overnight it was like, wow, it got deep and unbelievably cynical and things. But
Were you a
we,
deadhead? Were you ever a
I,
deadhead?
I, I liked the music, but I was not like the guy that traveled all around with them and went to see every show like my friends did. But there's something to be said for the improvisation ability and words and music and
Jerry
reasons
was
why
a
they did
he
it.
was a visionary, man.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I agree with that. And
Fish,
band was
those guys
great.
too.
Yeah. I
Yeah.
love Chicago. I loved the protests and the ability to be together and the ability to speak up for what you really want and need and how important it is for everybody to have a voice, no matter what they subscribe to.
What band would you say so from that era, 60s and 70s, the Watergate, Vietnam, all sorts of situations were going on, civil rights movement. Um, what bands do you think were at the top of that game of bringing that peace and that feeling of unity together, like in your opinion? Who were they?
Uh, geez. Um, it's that's hard to say because there was so much similarity between people like the Doobie Brothers and Marvin Gaye and um, all the people we love, Stevie Wonder, James Taylor. They all had something to say. Joni Mitchell, Bob Dylan.
Yeah.
They all had something to say that was meaningful and brought you to the place of unity, being together, wanting to be together. Like I
Yeah.
said, Chicago was a big influence in my
25624, man.
right. Yeah, if you leave
Yeah,
me
great.
now and all that, all the, I mean, geez, I love Terry Kaff. He was my favorite all-time guitar player, and even Jimi Hendrix said Terry's a better guitar player than me. And I had to laugh because Jimmy was killer. You know, um, but there are so many great um, bands and so much like Neil Young, all the things he's done and all the
Man,
things,
Neil
you know.
Young, he's something else. He runs this. like music retreat up in Northern California.
Hmm.
Uh, and apparently he's got like speakers installed are all around his big pond out
Oh,
back.
wow. I like it.
And he'll go out there in a boat and
Yeah.
just listen to music for hours.
Yeah.
And I'm just thinking to myself, like, man, that's how
How do
you.
I get there?
Yeah, how do
You
I?
know?
Here we are, listening to music on our iPhones and shit, and it's like that's how you listen to music.
Well, we're here. We're doing this thing 3,000 miles apart or whatever it
Right,
is.
I know. It's
And the
crazy.
computer is such a killer thing. And, the idea that no matter where you are, you can hear wherever somebody is and you can be connected and have this beauty and this fun and this like it's the live experience or the pre-recorded thing. I'm just so excited about all the things we get to do with the technology because as blind people, I mean, the technology has been like stepping out. It's like stepping out,
Oh, it's a whole new world.
Yeah,
It's a
you
whole
can
new
go
world.
anywhere
Yeah.
and get anything you want. And it takes a little bit of learning and a little bit of, persistence, but wow,
Yeah.
you know.
And you've upped, for the music and everything else, you've upped your game quite a bit these last couple of years too,
Yeah, you have to
with
because,
technology.
you got to keep up and you got to like, stuff isn't going to last forever. Like, Dancing Dots put out a recording DAW and they wrote the scripts and I did the courses and Bill and David and Albert and all these, they're great. They gave me that platform to play music on, record music on, and write music and that. And then, boom, Windows 7, it was gone. There's no more uh, cake walk, cake talk, sonar, or whatever. So then you get into how am I going to do what I want to do? And before that, it
Right.
was reel to reel, and then it was ADAT, and then it was, on and
Pro
on,
Tools. Yeah.
HD 24 and Pro Tools, and
Yeah.
now Logic, and
Reaper.
got Ableton and
Yeah.
Reaper and all
I
these
know.
different things, Windows and Mac, and I just had to grab a slice and work with it and try and figure out how am I going to continue to do what I want to do, and what I really love is the studio and the watching the music grow and putting together new stuff and using whatever there is to make it happen. So you know um, that that's I guess my favorite kind of thing, being an older person and kind of not getting out
You're
and playing
embracing it.
live that
Yeah.
much. Yeah, I want to do that because that's what I get to do. So I buy myself a decent mic and I buy myself a computer and I learn how to use it and I get a good trainer and I do whatever it takes
I
to
wonder
make.
who's training you.
I don't know this guy. He lives up in Oregon somewhere.
Right. Dude, it's so crazy. I've had a handful of students, and you and this other gal are probably like the best of the best that I've seen who take it by the balls and make it into your own. And that's exactly like the whole point of it is forget about me. You take it now and you make it your own. And I've, I've had the privilege to check out some of your tracks and even engineer you a dozen or two times. And, it's just so cool to see that evolution, right? Going from analog and reel to reel to now being in this position to not necessarily have that kind of stress in the back of your mind anymore. And some would say it's a justified stress because I know there's a lot of old cats that are still very much into that old school tech and old school music because it has its place. There's studios all around the world that still have API 2500s, or who have C6 and C76, compressors and all these
Mhm.
older pieces of hardware. But, as you were saying, like moving on and adapting into a more software and digital world, you can still, show who you are, what makes the music shine through all of that.
Oh yeah, I really love it because I don't use a lot of hardware. I use more of what's in the box because I'm in a smaller room and I'm able to do what I want to do, a lot of MIDI stuff, and then add my touch with whatever guitar and, plug a mic in and do my thing. But, it's about being able to still write and play and have a DAW, uh, so that you can do it anywhere. Pack it up in a rolling bag and move on down the road, if that's
Yeah.
what you need to do.
Yeah, yeah, exactly.
I
You don't
love
have
the
to
studio. I love the ISO. I love the mic setups and I love the tuning the drums exactly right. But man, now you can play it on a keyboard. It's pretty cool to be able to
yeah.
do that. You know,
And it saves, I mean, arguably it saves a lot of money. It saves
it's
so much money.
unfortunate, but
Yeah.
yeah, but and you're probably, you know, for a singer-songwriter, that's one thing. But if you got a band and you got a studio and you can put 4 or 5 guys in the studio and lay it
Do it
all
all
out,
yourself.
that
Yeah.
that's another thing. That's a cool thing too. And that's what happened with the Drift and with Uncle Chester and with Milestone, was that we'd go to somebody's studio and we'd get maybe some time, or we'd have to pay for it, but it was like $40 an hour and then it's done.
Yeah.
And then you got what you got, and either you pay more money or you come back and you revisit. And I was really lucky. They gave me, my friends have given me lots of studio time to experiment and examine and come back and redo and like that. But that's what I wanted. I wanted a studio that where I could sit off the clock and go and play my stuff. And now
Do
I
whatever
have
you want on
the
no one else's
website
time.
and
Yeah.
I have a backlog of music that I've created over the years. And so, yeah, I'm really fortunate and happy and lucky and all of those things. But I'm happy to have been able to use my talents uh, and enjoy it and have the camaraderie of all of my friends who have helped me on my journey to make the music.
Right on, man. Well, you're doing a hell of a job.
Yeah,
Yeah.
slow and steady wins the race.
Yeah, there you go. That's right. One in a row.
One in a row. That's all you
That's
need.
right. So
Yeah.
what are we promoting? What are we promoting? What's coming up?
Relative to what? My songs?
Yeah,
Relative
music.
to
Yeah.
uh uh
Anything you want to share?
oh, I'm writing and I'm getting ready to put some new stuff on the web. I got one called All the Time. I got another one called Treasure Box. I got another one called Start to Feel the Magic. I got another one called How You Love It Touches Me. And what's the other one? The other one is A Mother's Special Love. Um, some of them are on the website, and there's a work in progress. I got 3 songs in on the computer that I'm working on. But
Nice.
I just want to push whatever people like and whatever there is uh, that touches the individuals that want to hear it. Pray for Mercy was a cool song, the Drift version, and then I went in and re-recorded it um, with some natives tracks in the background, and I enjoyed that. But a lot of it was me doing stuff myself and bringing in guys in and saying, "Hey, put a lead guitar on this," and "Hey,
Right,
try,
right.
play drums on that," and so I don't know what to promote. I my web site is www.cleanouttassightaudio.com, cleanouttassightaudio.com. And you can hear most everything I have there, including the bands, and Dan Hinkle and Heroes and Uncle Chester and Continental Drift and Milestone might even be there. But yeah, I'm looking forward to new stuff. Just keep writing and playing, and I don't have any tour thing set up that I want to talk about, but I think maybe I might delve into the solo side of things. And
Yeah.
play guitar and sing and play guitar. And, the Day of Peace, International Day of Peace is coming up. I might try and get a spot here to play a couple of my songs on that.
There you go.
That's September 21st. And, anything that brings people together, that's what I'm interested in doing. And putting the songs that are meaningful from my catalog into those situations. So, yeah,
Man, you're great. That's all I can say. I love the music. It's relaxing, and it definitely brings peace, especially for hardcore metal guys like me.
Yeah, well, you got some years to go, and
Right.
hopefully settle into something killer and get a good band and really jump in it, with both
Yeah,
feet, because,
no doubt. Bill was really gracious enough. He had it was just an honor to have him on one of my tracks, One of a Kind and Burn, which are off of my latest record, Never Ending. You can hear him on those two songs, and we had a blast recording those and a bunch of other unreleased pieces that eventually will go up and be put on a little compilation. And it's definitely not the end of our work together, that's for sure.
Yeah, we'll find ways to complement each other as time goes by.
As time goes by, that's right. Well, anything you want to share before we get out of here? Wisdom, experience.
I just say,
philosophy.
oh my God, no. I just want to say thanks for allowing me this time to talk about what I do, and keep recording and keep loving and living and enjoying all the good things, because life is too short. We need to accentuate the positive, and have fun doing it.
Accentuate the positive. I like that. That might be the catchphrase for the episode. That's good. That's real good. All right, cleanouttassightaudio.com.
That's right.
Be sure to check out the incredible and notorious Bill Hahey.
Oh my God.
All right. Very
Thanks.
cool. Yeah, thank you. We'll see you guys in the next episode.
Up and down the road, hear the sparrow's song. Said he's gonna fly away. Here today, but tomorrow he'll be gone. Ain't that just the way? I ain't saying I've been true, but you know of my love for you. And darling, tell me what to do. Sweet Mary Jean, coming into town, riding on a prayer. No one knows my name. Looking to the east, hoping she'll be there. Does she do the same? Well, I would cry your tears for you. take away your fears from you, 'cause I've been waiting years for you, sweet Mary Jane. I had a dream just before we met, nearly stole my heart. Sitting in the shade of an old oak tree, I heard that sparrow start. Let me cry your tears for you, take away your fears from you, 'cause I've been waiting years for you, sweet Mary Jane. So let me cry your tears for you, take away your fears from you, 'cause I've been waiting years for you, sweet Mary Jane. Darling, tell me what to do, sweet Mary Jane.
Great song by Bill there. That's called Sweet Mary Jane. He wrote that song about his daughter. Incredible story, amazing musicianship. Be sure to check him out again at cleanoutofsightaudio.com. Support the artist. And if this is your first time listening to the podcast, thank you for listening all the way through. Please hit that subscribe button on YouTube, Spotify, or Apple for more awesome interviews. Thanks so much, and stay groovy and know you matter.